It's lying to you. Stay tuned to discover a better way. Hit it. I hate this guy. Try to tell me I'm fat or something. Just get that guy out of here. Just get that guy out of here. Why are you trying to haunt me all the time? Oh, yeah. Welcome to a fresh new episode of the Fitness Avengers, where we fight fat, frustration, and fitness fakes. I'm your host, master trainer and author, Tony Arreola from TotalBodyProject.com, and I'm on a personal mission to simplify fitness for you, coming at you every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube Live. Woo! Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. The scale, it lies to you. You diet your butt off. You're eating fruits, you're eating vegetables, you're walking halfway to the moon. Well, the moon's kind of hard. Maybe you're walking halfway to Mexico and you jump on the scale and you haven't lost 1 pound. What the beep? That stuff just drives you insane, drives you up the wall. So today we're going to talk about our relationship with the scale. We're going to talk about how weight fluctuates up and down. We're going to talk about inputs versus outputs. And I'm going to give you a better way to track your progress. If you're watching live, go ahead and jump on the. Oh, there's Nicole. Hola, Nicole. Hola. Today's sponsor is Shape'a, which is a new scale that I've been trying out. I popped in a code. If you like the scale, if you're tired, if you want a new way. So I've been trying it out for a year now, and I'm really liking the results. We'll have our Ask the Trainer, which is something that came up in one of my coaching conversations, is how do I meal plan? So we'll talk about how to set up a proper meal plan for yourself so you can be successful all the way to the skinny side and hopefully more on automatic. So let's jump right in. Quitting sucks. Right? I get it. You don't want to quit because then you have to start again. So stop letting the scale derail you. This is a tough one, because a lot of times we feel like we're doing good work. We're watching our food, getting our steps, doing everything that we need to be doing to be successful. And then we jump on the scale and it doesn't move, or it goes up a little bit, and then we just fall apart. And it's hard. I understand. And what I want you to realize is that you're not alone. Everybody, a lot of my clients, including myself, we all feel like that. Like, why do I even bother? Why do I even try? And what happens is that, this fume, this boiling fume, this hot fume of just poison just gets in our brain, and it really prevents us from doing what we need to be doing and living to our full potential and, living as our true self. So I'm going to talk to you today and help you how to actually combat those thoughts so that you don't have to struggle like this anymore. Now, the first thing that you want to think about is, what's your relationship with the scale? And this is something that's intimate. It's something that you want to keep in mind, because if you know that when you jump on that scale and you see a number that you don't like, how does it make you feel? Do you go on a binge? Do you, beat yourself up? Are you only happy when the number goes down? And what's your behavior afterwards? Because the scale isn't who you are. The scale is just a number. But I realize that it's a personal number, and we have some relationship of how we're going to feel at certain numbers. And that's a tough way to live. It's a tough way to make progress. So whenever I jump on the scale and I'm thinking about getting on the scale, I really try to get myself ready for what the number could be, what the number might be, and more importantly, what are the actions and behaviors that I did leading up to this moment. So think, okay, have I been, like getting my steps? Have I been mindful, slowly eating with my food? Have I stayed away from like junk food? Am I drinking enough water? Am I sleeping right? If I'm doing all those things and right before I think about all the inputs, all the stuff that I was doing, and then I jump on the scale, it's a lot easier for me to accept that number because the scale isn't entirely accurate. It's a lagging indicator. Is what you did, not what you're doing. So it's where you've been. So you think about what the leading indicators are of change would be getting the steps, getting the exercise, and being mindful, present with the nutrition, making better choices, setting up your kitchen, getting that positive self talk, celebrating those tiny wins. All that stuff are like leading indicators of the change that you want to make. So the scale is lagging, it's trailing behind. So if you're doing good work, right, and you're just hitting it on the head and you're just like celebrating, selling, and the scale, the number is behind you, and then you get derailed when this number comes up, then boom, then it backfires. So think before you jump on the scale, celebrate all the leading indicators, the stuff that you know is working for you and that you're doing right. So think about that. That's more important because the truth is that your weight will fluctuate anywhere between 2 and 5% daily. So that means if you're 200 pounds in the morning to the night, it's 4 to 10 pounds, right? Because the body is roughly 60% water, right? So if we're all water, right? And this is about a pound of water. If we're a pound, if we're like 60% water, and we're dehydrated or we're overhydrated because now we're trying to lose weight, we're trying to be mindful, we're trying to be eat less and make better choices and fill ourselves up with water. Now your weight's going to go up, right? The weight's going to go up. But remember, it's just water, right? What water you can't really grab. Fat, on the other hand, like a pound of fat, you can grab that stuff. That stuff's chilling on the side. So you want to keep in mind how that relationship works, so that when you hear these people that lose like 10 pounds, 8 pounds, right? We know that you can vary 10 pounds in one day if you just dehydrate yourself. So if you stop drinking all fluids, then you will lose water, right? People do it with like carbohydrates all the time because it's carbohydrate. So carbs hold a lot of water. So what you want to keep in mind is that if these things are holding water and you get rid of these things, you're going to drop a lot of water weight. You're still going to look the same, but you will weigh less. That's why the scale is not a good indicator. You don't believe me? Take a look at what you look like. Get your scale, jump on it, jump in the shower, get all wet, come out, weigh yourself, and then still look at what you look like. More than likely, you're gonna look exactly the same, but you're gonna weigh more. And so the chart that I'm showing you here is how people tend to measure change. They tend to measure change from this peak of 180 to this trough of like 174. So you hear like, oh, I lost 6 pounds. I did this so fast. Truth be told, weight loss doesn't happen that fast. It's 1 to 2 pounds a week if you're really good. But anything like half a pound, a quarter of a pound, it's all good. But you want to measure it from peak to peak, right? So you look at your week, say 7 days. This is if you're weighing daily. You go 7 days, and now you want to measure from the peak to the peak. So what'd you weigh? What was the highest for the week compared to your next highest, right? Or your lowest highest. So you want to measure that change. Or you can measure from trough to trough, the bottom to the bottom. Either one of those will give you a more consistent measurement week over week. And remember, you're looking at week over week, not day by day. Week over week is going to be a lot more. It's going to tell you a lot more information, and it's going to get rid of this fluctuation and this temperament, because we're looking for consistent, permanent change. And so you want to get this relationship with the food, with the scale down. So let's look. Yeah, emoji time. Dun, 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 dun. If you're watching live, hit the like, hit the loves. Woo! Yeah. If you're watching the replay and you're struggling with the scale, give me a little angry face. So I know a lot of people have a hard time with the scale, and I get that. I really get that. So what causes these changes? So there's a lot of things that cause the changes. For one, the one that people kind of bypass is food, right? I think I ate like a little thing of catsup, and it was like 100 grams. So about six, like All this food all weighs. So if you eat like a bunch of, cantaloupe was like this big, and then I had some strawberries and some cherries, all that stuff's gonna weigh. So you can put on anywhere between, 1 to maybe 2 to 3 pounds in just nutrition, right? And that's not even counting water. Water is another one that can add, again, 2 to 5 pounds daily. So your weight's going to fluctuate tremendously, because 60% of the human body is water. If you have more salt, right? Salt, um, sodium, any type of preservatives, those stuff hold a lot more water. So you're just going to keep retaining water. So that can be another reason why your weight goes, fluctuates so much. Carbohydrates, like I said, if you're eating more fruits and vegetables, guess what? Those are all carbohydrates. Carbohydrate. So you're eating cleaner, you're feeling better about yourself, you're making better choices. Those are more nutrient rich, less calorie dense. So they're going to be better for you. It's going to be better for the waistline. But that initial weight could go up. And that's where people can get discouraged. So if you're eating more carbohydrates, then the chances are that your weight can go up. Bowel movements, right? Are you consistent? When's the last time you went to the bathroom, right? Because all this stuff with the food has to go through like that digestive process. So, dairy, some types of meat, some things. If your diet is different on the weekends, it can cause these pops in the weight. Menstrual cycle is another one. Females retain anywhere from 5 to 7 pounds during their time of the month. So all these things, right? You have so many variables that can really affect your daily weight that it's really not the best way to measure your change. So a better way to measure your change would be how your clothes fit. It would be like how your belt fits, your favorite pair of jeans, that favorite dress, those favorite pairs of shorts that fit you just the right way. Underwear, bras, physical indicators tend to be a better gauge of how you're progressing. Now, obviously, if you have like a trainer or somebody that can measure you, that's a better way to measure circumference measurements. But even then, put on those jeans. How do they fit you? If do they fit you a little bit snug? Are they getting a little bit looser? Do they fit you a little bit better? Because that can be really, really motivating. What I've been using lately for like a year, I've been kind of test driving it, is a Shape scale. And this is a scale that calibrates your weight. It takes into account your weight in the morning and the weight in the night, and it goes by a 10-day kind of rolling average. And what I found when it goes by this 10-day rolling average, and it kind of blurs out these peaks, right? Because it's weights like this, right? Like we saw here, the weight kind of pops up and down. So what the Shape scale does is it gives you a color, dark gray, light gray, green, teal, and blue. So if you're going the wrong way, you go light gray. If you're going the wrong way fast, you get dark gray. Green, you're basically maintaining your weight. And what's interesting is, when I ran this experiment, when I was in green, I was varying anywhere between, 3 and like 5 pounds. It was just bouncing up and down. And I knew that when the weight goes up, I get super discouraged. You get like pissed off and you want to stop and you're like, why me? Why do I even try? But as soon as I started trying this Shape scale, what I found is I was getting green, and green was a lot more motivating than the number on the scale. And so it did help me with that behavior, that I wasn't, I was more mindful over the weekends, but I did see some gray in there, mostly when I broke that risk with risk. Um, and it did help me course correct right away. And the inverse is also true. I had seen teal, which is like you're slowly losing weight, and then blue is when you're losing weight pretty quick. So that's more like in the 2 pound range. So these different colors really take this 10-day average and compares it to like your previous 10 days. So it gives you a bigger sample size of your weight, and it really levels out this fluctuation so that you can get kind of like a smooth, like linear kind of drop down. If you want a Shape scale, I have a promo code that you can use. It's on this thread, and use the code Get Me Skinny to the link. I connected it on the show notes, so you can go out there and get your own scale. And if you use the code Get Me Skinny, you will get a free scale. I think it's like that. It's for like a year that you get the membership to that stuff. Um, Here's another really good hack, like I've talked about earlier, is that you really want to celebrate the inputs. I can't stress how important that is. Celebrate what you're doing to get you to your goal. Don't wait till you get to your goal to celebrate what you did. Celebrate the key behaviors that you're doing, whether it be writing in your journal, writing, taking the exercise bike, hitting your steps, drinking your water, going to bed on time, really taking care of yourself. All that stuff you really want to celebrate, because the celebrations, those tiny celebrations, are dopamine for the brain. So they really ingrain these habits into you. So make sure that you celebrate the inputs, because if you celebrate the inputs enough and they're all the right inputs, and eventually you're going to get to your goal, and celebrate the whole thing. Because remember, we want to celebrate the process as we're getting to our goal. That's more important, the long run. The other thing I want to help you contend with is, uh, stop hating yourself. And I deal with this a lot with clients. When people struggle, people feel like giving up. They always feel like, they're such a failure, or they beat themselves up. And think of it like the little angel on your shoulder, and you got like the little devil on the other side, a little evil side of you, always beating you up. It's really hard to change when someone's always kicking dirt in your face. And especially if that little annoying guy is always with you. You don't want that guy to be in there. You want somebody to pick you up when you're down, to make you feel good. So if you practice some self-compassion, if you start catching those automatic negative thoughts, and like try to stifle those things, because remember, we change best by feeling good. Anything that you've ever been successful at life, you did it because you felt good when you were doing it. So love yourself, be compassionate, and celebrate your inputs. And when you make a mistake, which you inevitably will, everybody I've ever coached, I've ever helped, I've ever led on this journey is going to make mistakes, and acknowledge them, and then try to learn from those mistakes and see what you can do different, whether it be an environmental change, a mood change, getting rid of that stuff so that you don't see it. All those things will make the difference. And treat your journey to health and wellness as a running experiment, where, okay, you're going to try some stuff and maybe it doesn't work, try other stuff, maybe it doesn't work. But as long as you keep learning and you keep focused, and you focus on being being proud of yourself, being proud of yourself for taking another step, being proud of yourself for picking yourself back up, because it's impossible to stop somebody who never quits. All right, let's get a client spotlight. Bear with me, he's a little blurry. Let's make him small. Well, that's the wrong button. So this is John Menard, one of my newest like online kind of hybrid coaching clients, and he is just on fire. John was a little bit skeptic in the beginning when we talked about eating slow and adding more fruits and getting steps. And like everybody else, he wants to see results fast. So we put him on an advanced program of like logging his calories every day, and getting some exercise, and getting just a little bit of core work, a little bit of stretching, some steps, being more mindful, slowing down his eating rate, because he was eating pretty quick. And now John is down 6 pounds. He's on his way to join his son Eric, who is also a client of my coaching program, at his wedding in August. So congratulations to you, John. I wish I could make you bigger, but I'm gonna make you skinnier. Which is good. Yeah, he's so blurry. So congrats, John, for all your success. Thank you so much for trusting me to help guide you on this journey. And I promise to help you as much as I can, guide you there, and really make sure that you get all the way to the skinny side, and look amazing for your son's wedding. So I had a good question on one of my coaching calls, which is, how do I meal plan? And meal planning is going to be different for everybody. I wish there was like a cookie cutter, like, hey, do this, but there's not. You can only find a solution that is unique to you, and try out different experiments. But you will need to meal plan, no matter what. And not like the traditional where you order like a box of delivery every week or anything like that. But you're gonna have to find something that works for you, because if you don't have a meal plan, you have no idea what you're gonna eat today, later today, tomorrow, the next day. You're gonna fall. You're very susceptible to falling to your emotions, and falling to your emotions can lead to like problematic choices. So we want to make sure that we always have a plan. So what I told this young lady, Hannah, in my coaching program, is I told her, let's get a list of meals that you think you would like. Whether it be like grilled chicken or asparagus or soup, spaghetti, you name it. Just brainstorm different chicken different meals. Then look at those meals and figure out what ingredients you need. So let's get a shopping list going. Luckily, we all have phones. So we put her list into the phone, and now she went to go meal plan on Sunday night. I was like, okay, when can you do this? She's like, Sunday night I can do it. She bought her groceries, and she really started to solidify this meal plan. And that was worked for her. Some other clients have done like a Blue Apron. Some people do the delivery service. Some people do the Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers. All that stuff works. You just need to have a plan that works for you. So think about your family, your unique situation, and how you can take meal plans and incorporate them. But you do need a plan, because if you don't have a plan, you're gonna fail. Yeah, Nicole says, awesome for John. Yeah, congrats. We're really proud of John. Even little John, blurry John. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks, Nicole, for being on live. Really appreciate you. Hopefully this stuff helps, because I know that the scale can be discouraging at times. But don't base your success based on what the scale says. Base your success and how you feel good on the choices that you're making. And you're making some incredible choices. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. You're watching the replay. Go ahead and tag Get Me Skinny, and I'll invite you to our Fitness Avengers group, where we have 180 people in our group now. So awesome, Fitness Avengers. We're going to keep fighting fat and frustration and some fitness fakes. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Next week, I'll have Can Brain Power Beat Willpower? It's going to be good. We're going to talk about the mind and how we can set ourselves up for permanent success, how we can design the right system. My name's Tony Arreola. I'm a master trainer and author, and my purpose in life is to teach you health and happiness the simple way. You're the reason I exist. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you so much for all the support, and I will see you on the skinny side.
Thank you for watching the Fitness Avenger live show. If you like the show, make sure to like it and share. Please join us next week on Facebook Live. This week's show is brought to you by our close friends at Total Body Project. Visit
those guys.
TotalBodyProject.com
Go visit them
for more info.
Go visit them. Woo!